pretty alright, but BlossoM had the more standard draft and they played it better.
Yep. And that was game number 1 in Inferno Shrines. Now we are moving to
Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom. They actually want to take the rotational work. Maybe we'll see some instead of Sonya, the Haka coming out here, as the Haka is one of the top heroes going on the solo lane.
Indeed.
You okay?
I'm alright.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Sorry, I had to move my headset. It gets a little bit loud when I move it, so I'm sorry if you guys hear the staticky. Just know that probably one of us is like itching our nose or something or trying to get a drink of water when that happens. So, in terms of drafting, everything that BlossoM did last game was based on playing safe for the map objective, picking meta heroes with high win rates. Greymane, first pick into Sonya, highest win rate solo laner. Uther synergizes well with both. Made the Anubarak ban weak because it was just simply a let's stop this top tier hero. And when you look at a draft like this as Miracle, you probably think to yourself, well, there's no real way to pick this apart, right? Medivh was tough, gave us some problems there. Medivh was a last pick in rotation with ETC to counter what we did. But there's no glaring weaknesses to BlossoM's draft. It's the safest drafting style. We've seen teams like Ballistics, MVP Black in the past draft like this. For Miracle, perhaps the way to defeat this is to pick some of those top tier heroes yourself and force BlossoM out of the comfort zone of just picking those S tier heroes that work well together.
Let's see in this case. Is Miracle going to pick up Genji once more? Maybe with a better composition that's possible, but I think Greymane is the safer choice for now when they cannot take both Uther and Genji. That was the problem. Their main problem, Genji could not really go in with the safety tools.
So let's compare these drafts. Last time first pick went to BlossoM, they took Greymane away from Miracle. This time Miracle is going to get it, but Sonya goes to BlossoM again, and they've picked up Genji. Now, Genji was going to work much better with heroes like Uther, for example, than he's going to work with heroes like Malfurion. I think it's time for Jaehyun to go back to an old favorite. He was picking Malfurion in 2015 when everyone else picked Uther. It was the only player, and back then it worked well for him when he was on TNL, made it to Super League Finals, went to BlizzCon in 2015. When we talk about the history of this storied player, 3 years later, still playing for Miracle, the former sister team of Black, I think the best possible move here is to lock in Uther because he synergizes well with Greymane. He also synergizes well with Sonya and Genji. Take this support, play the standard game. Don't fall back into those weak hero pools. He takes the Uther, and he takes a strong matchup for solo lane. Can't get banned away here with the Dahaka. So powerful for the map. This is intelligent drafting from Miracle. It's more standard, and I think it's the best, almost game theory way to draft against BlossoM right now.
Yeah, in this map too. Towers of Doom, the Aka solo lane, of course, against Sonya it would be very tough, the laning itself for that time being, but picking up before the second ban phase, of course, the Aka was the top choice that was going to be banned from BlossoM's side, so that's exactly why they had that already, even though Sonya was picked from the other side. ETC. Target, I think they're trying to really target Judy now after watching set number 1 because he did not have the perfect play. His condition does not seem so good at the moment.
Yeah, knows our production immediately flashed Judy on screen as soon as that ETC ban was locked in. I think you're right on the money in terms of what BlossoM is trying to do here. And I think up next, just grabbing a solid Anubarak pick is so good. You can then take away the power of Uther that we were talking about. The three heroes on this screen that works best with are Greymane, Sonya, and Genji. You've lost the Uther. Just take him away from them using Anubarak, then you've got a lot of extra CC, you've got a strong front line. Then they can, because Lucio is banned, just simply be okay with taking the Rhaegar. Still synergize as well, both with Sonya and Anubarak. You save your 5th pick for Flex to try to find out which DPS goes against the final picks of Miracle. That's the kind of draft approach you'd expect from BlossoM, given how they played Game 1. Will they throw us a curveball instead? Because these picks seem so obvious, right?
A curveball would mean that they would probably pick the... Maybe they will leave the support for the last one if they can't really have the perfect counter to what Miracle is having right now, because they already picked up Uther. They can't ban anything more.
I will fight to my last breath.
Taking Garrosh.
Garrosh over Anubarak.
Oh man, is this a war between... This is literally the war between Judy and Gondar.
Well, this also means that, because we know that Judy is not as comfortable with the Muradin pick, for example, or the Anubarak, that was Gondar's pick. So Gondar is the player of these two tanks that's way better on the Anubarak. You've now taken away the comfort pick of Judy, so he's going to now be forced to play less comfortable Muradin or less comfortable Anubarak. So
maybe even he has to bring out his old favorite Stitches here.
They have Uther. They don't have, and they have Dahaka. They have some follow-ups to a hook.
But they need a lot more damage. In order to do that, Stitches, maybe, if it's Stitches, they need some Cursed Bullet, a few other mechanics and damage to come in.
Definitely a consideration here. Gonna be the Muradin though. It's time for Judy to show how much he's improved during the off-season with his Muradin play. Something that he was one of the only Korean players to avoid the Muradin pick oftentimes on Miracle. Part of the reason why Crazy Moon was pulled in when Muradin rose to the top at the end of the season, where he's playing Muradin and Johanna. Tychus makes sense. Obviously solid wave clear, great follow-up for Greymane, and strong on this map. The Odin can do so much to delay tributes.
And the
or altars, I should say.
Percent damage penetrating into the armor of Garrosh seems like a very good pick. To Cassia to negotiate soft counter against Greymane. Also, lots of Tychus and all the blinds will work perfectly against a nice last pick of DPS for Cassia coming out from BlossoM here.
Yeah.
In terms of drafting, I still think BlossoM is just ahead a lot by a far margin.
I think Miracle's draft was very intelligent, and if it were any other team, I would say this draft is pretty much dead even. But given what we know about Judy and Jaehyun, I think we have to be a little bit concerned about this roster. We have H82 on Dahaka. It's going to be a really fun matchup to watch that against the Sonya BlossoM. So Wiz versus H82, a matchup we haven't seen in a while. And I think that's going to be a big determining factor as to how the bell tower control goes. But the Cassia pick, we knew that they were going to pick a DPS that was strong against what Miracle chose, and the blinds here certainly are exactly that. The only big surprise being, I think, for BlossoM, that pick of Garrosh, and again, this is targeted towards Judy's hero pool. He's now playing the Muradin that we were talking about, and I hope that we walk away from this second game thinking, wow, Judy's Muradin is so much stronger than we thought. BlossoM underestimated him, we underestimated him, but from what we've seen, it feels like a great draft for BlossoM.
Yep, this is kind of the similar one where from yesterday they were stuck, and when they lose a bell tower, they don't have too much poke, and they can never take it back when the other team's positioned for that poke, and they will just block it, and they can never take the bell tower back. I think that can happen to either side. A little more for Miracle, because BlossoM does have some range and pokes, a lot more than Miracle does.
Yeah. I mean, Miracle has Grenade and they have Cocktail, and that is the poke that they've got. They don't have the sort of flexible pokes that, like for Genji, he can be anywhere. Cassia can poke at long distance, can poke at really funny angles. And even Rhaegar can go ahead and, you know, toss down his totem, set it on fire, but on lightning. I don't know how to... he can lightningize it, all right? Lightningize that totem. Look at
the lightning totem.
Yeah, the lightning totem is going to get, you know, get the job done in terms of delay. Radiance is okay at delaying. I think it's, you know what, looking at this again, I think it's pretty even.
Yeah, they don't have too much poke. They don't, neither side has anything like Li Ming or Mage Gul'dan to poke from long range. But they do have Cassia, so that's a lot more shorter cooldown, so much more easier to actually get the bell tower down when you're trying to poke, and can also dive in along with Genji and Sonya. So it fits the target.
Let's talk about the solo matchup for a second. Judy came down here to try to invade, totally failed. Sonya got 2 waves extra. Gondar in trouble. Actually, he's going to be stunned here. Does get the heal. He's got so much armor. Will he walk out? Tychus is dead. Sniper turns around, and Gondar is going to live here. Don't know if we'll be able to say the same about Rhaegar. Not going to be the case. Judy, boom, stunned. That's going to be another kill. So 3 for 1, and all the while Sonya got extra waves done in top and mid. I wanted to talk about how what you do when you lose the matchup, it's so textbook when you lose the matchup against Sonya as the Dahaka, you have Muradin come up and gank. We talked about this yesterday. We saw this so many times yesterday. But what he did instead was invade the camp. Failed initially. They were able to get the initial pick, but they lost 3 for it. So 3 for 1, and Wiz gets all the extra soak. Unfortunate when you have a global hero, can't make it work the way you intend to with the gank, but I don't know, execution a little bit weak here.
Warden is here to help with the 3-man. With no kills, but the top lane is what's making this really hard for Miracle right now, and due to just harassing Gunja, as he'll be just outranged and poked so much. BlossoM leading this thing by an entire level because of those kills.
Look at Wiz!
And also extra waves.
Yeah, look at Wiz, he's in mid. Zagarity I pushed that into the top cannon towers. Let me grab some mid clear real quick.
Yeah, HGC is not even contesting because he knows that he's gonna lose the matchup against Sonya.
Yep. He's gonna go ahead and channel blue side. Wiz is channeling as well, so this is gonna be the double here for BlossoM.
The only chance that HGC can create is to join into teamfight, really look for that kill with the drag, and then that's going to be the turning point of Miracle.
Yeah.
But before that happens, Sonya is just going to dominate this top lane, and HGC will just have to spend more time doing nothing.
Wiz controls bot and mid, so that wave clear is why they had so many problems. Judy gets caught here by Garrosh. So because of all that extra pressure, the choice is tough for Dahaka in this case. He has to decide, do I try to get bot bell tower and maybe lose the fight and then lose 2 at top, or do I go to the top one and hope my team could buy enough time at the neutral altar at the bottom to come through? And he chose the safer one, but his team was too slow to rotate down, so they end up losing both very passively. No kills for BlossoM over this exchange. It was just Wiz controlling both lanes. He's going to go back up top. Just watch Sonya on the minimap. Watch Wiz's first-person view on Play XP, and you'll see that he's just on wave clear duty that allows the rest of his team not to worry about the mid lane. They can roam more, they can threaten invades more, and they can look for picks like this.
And they're doing the first damage onto Judy. Will survive with the healing coming out from Uther. Gondar is very low, but still managed to escape with that armor now. The straight Taika Zen Genji, one Judy also goes super low, but they don't have any more poke.
Not really much more range damage here to get the finishing blows.
And meanwhile, Sonya was getting extra wave again.
Yep.
Because Deaka joined into teamfight, and they forced...
Literally, like, Wiz could have played Zool, and they'd be further ahead. Okay? This looks like my Zool games where, like, no one pays attention to me. I'm like, alright, well, I'm just going to keep clearing these, by the way. This time he's actually sneaked around, did not go mid, and is going to come rejoin this neutral altar. So it's going to be a 5-man for BlossoM as soon as Genji rejoins. So 5v5 fight here. HA2's already come down here. And with the Dahaka, he's stunned. Gondar looking for an angle. No 10 available. BlossoM with just a slight scaling advantage. Look at the damage from Wiz here and all the heals. Cocktail damage not enough just yet.
Gondar pushing out, they're getting the damage, but their armor is sustaining for a long time. He's going to sacrifice it to push the entire team. A Miracle may look for a kill. That's a good trade for 1-1.
1-1 indeed. Good trade. Nasong with the channel here. Good body blocks coming through from Dudu. Wiz trying to hang around. Looks like Judy, didn't actually get the interrupt there. So shots fired for BlossoM. Taking an 8 hit point lead in terms of core health at the moment.
This goes in with the spear. That may be a mistake. Greymane dives in for the kill, but Judy barely escapes. Nicely done, but Greymane will not have his own escape in that case.
Forgetting about the respawn of H82 is what caused that death there for Cassia. As Gondar comes back to the mid lane. At the end of the day, BlossoM maintains an experience lead. And Dahaka had to use brush dogs, who's kind of stuck at the bottom right now.
And also they fired the shots,
yeah.
So that's extra advantage for them. Even though they lost one more member, I think it's all worth it for them. So BlossoM's leading this super hard. It all started, as you mentioned, from the top lane matchup. Dahaka, in this case, was a big help for Miracle, but they have to make that work every single time from now on.
Yeah, it's, you know, I feel like a lot of this comes down to BlossoM's clear understanding of how to use Garrosh. Like, Gondar has been super low many times. And to be fair, like, Gondar was never known for his Garrosh play. We knew he was a top-tier warrior always, but Garrosh was not a hero you said, like, have you seen his Garrosh? But today, I feel like we could make arguments for it, and it's not just the Garrosh, it's his ability to use Nasong's healing together. Okay, this could be a pick. This is a good rotation.
This is the cocktail. They're just going for the camp, as Wiz also had to pop that Fury.
But imagine now how good this Garrosh pick is going to be with Ancestral Healing. I mean, just imagine. This bell tower is already gone. This rotation is late from Judy. And as you were mentioning, here we're at the point where, yeah, this is the beginning of exactly what you were talking about.
They may have to actually use the Odin to push in. May not be enough. There's the Odin, but can they get the kill? They're already like way too far away. And Gunza already popped that Odin. That's going to be basically a waste.
Yeah, they're just going to wait it out. Jaehyun in position to channel this, though. Good cleanse here, but looks like Jaehyun will actually grab the altar.
Ooh, Genji actually does not go in as he is very low on HP.
But this isn't the end of this fight, I don't think. They're looking for an opportunity here. Modern dashes in. God, why did he change his name again? Try to remember to call him Modern Life. Maybe we'll end up calling him Modern by the end of the season. I don't know, G-Clef.
So that Odin actually paid off big time. I thought Genji was going to go in definitely and just poke out and cancel that channeling, but did not work out.
Yeah, he got stunned, but he wasn't if he was pre-cleansed, maybe he could have interrupted that, but a really difficult situation there. She's Shuriken Master will finish at 8-16 for the extra damage. That's especially going to help on the boss later on.
Yeah, look at that bell tower on the bottom left. That's going to stay there for
dancing is doo-doo here.
Long time, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Greymane's got decent poke, but it's not the greatest siege, especially because he didn't go into human range.
So they're only putting 2 men down there. Oh, there's more rotation. There's more men coming now, but still, that's going to buy lots of time. And they're also still maintaining that rotation, too.
It also allows BlossoM to soak and then just rotate down here when this is under duress. Modern dashes back through here. Here's the taunt. Nice cleanse. Good catch here, but an amazing Ancestral. And Gondar just lives through that moment alone based on the armor. This is a strong pick. This Garrosh pick, you've got blind self-support. It's so difficult to finish off a Garrosh when you're getting blinded. He's got the armor. There's Ancestrals coming through.
And HGC have to come again once more.
And look at Sonya in the top lane. Wiz is just getting free soak.
That's exactly right. They have to get some kills to come back into this game. They're trying the same thing over and over again. BlossoM's just ready for that. Also, there's no bursty deal. Oh, well, that target looks
That's a funny
weird.
interaction there.
It happens a lot of the time for Greymane because it's a target, but let's look at the team fight as
look
the
at this.
Dragon Blade is already here. Divine shielded Odin.
So much damage still, despite the Divine Shield, despite the Burrow, and Modern survives!
So many kills, that's not gonna be it. There's gonna be more Nasang just jumping into the fray on Rehgar. That's how hard they're winning this team fight right now, and the entire game.
So now they can get 10 damage done to drop it to 18. I don't think they can greedily try to look for 12. It's just simply not going to work. They don't have that much time. We're only 10 minutes of the game, even though we're seeing team wipes.
So they're going for the boss right now, and they want to do 4 more.
Plus, these sappers are coming in, so they're going to have to defend that. And at the same time, they can just rotate from the boss to top altar, while the sappers have to be dealt with in the bot lane for Miracle. They even have their sapper camp that they could take in a moment. They're not going to do that right now, because taking this bell tower is obviously more optimal. 8-2 just sitting here, saddest Dahaka ever. Frowny face. You guys can practically see how much he's frowning.
That's I think in terms of Miracle, they were looking for that percent damage, but picking Tychus because it's not a burst damage. It's every single time auto attack damage. So Garrosh actually builds up that armor, takes less damage, even more every single time. There's that big factor of the line coming out from Cassia. I think Miracle really locked themselves up by picking Tychus at the end. They had a lot of other tools. Sometimes they use, in this case, long time ago, they used to bring some Sergeant Hammer for that poke, long range, but does not work anymore in this meta.
Yeah, it's not really a viable pick at this moment in time, as you say, and BlossoM's just totally controlling the map. They regained the bell tower at least. BlossoM wasn't able to go as far as to take the top bell tower, but they got 14 shots in total, including the boss there. And they have an advantage in terms of experience. This could be an opportunity for take no cleanse this time.
I need healing.
No cleanse nearby. Rehgar was rotating up, but it was not there. We've seen so many good cleanses onto Modern Life this game, but that was not one of them.
That's what Genji always does.
He needs healing, man. So true, even in Heroes of the Storm.
That's what you do in Overwatch, just press X all the time when you pop that Dragon Blade, but that actually creates a lot of room for Miracle to come back. They got their bell tower, they're getting their rotation. Dehaka's actually in the position to work with the altar. Gets the shots
we'll
too.
get them a double shot, so they get closer to lethal with their, you know, their core dropping down to 10, but They were in better position. They capitalized on that kill very nicely. Gonna go ahead and take this camp at the same time, and basically BlossoM's going to rotate into the, you know, back to the soaking way where they're gonna have Sonya trying to push top. Judy taking some poke here. He'll be totally fine because of his trait. Will heal up easily. I'm gonna shut down these sapper camps. That's the idea. So weird to have this announcer in English. I'm like, shh, I'm talking like.
It is kind of weird after you, of course, casting in Korean client for 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, Genji, oh, not Greymane, will be tossed over right after, and that's gonna be a kill.
Yep. Good catch there with the taunt.
And that's how you use Garrosh, but last time it did not work like that. It seems like Gondar is showing Judy how to use Garrosh.
It's just a better comp for it. Sure, Malfurion works so well with Garrosh with the healing, but so does Rhaegar, and the rotational play here with the soul lane dominance, and I mean dominance. Look at this, he's like, yeah, 1v2, missed the gun grab wall.
Insane by himself with the wave, and that was insane.
Oh, I was hoping for a B step. We got the spray, I guess.
We got one B step, that was it, a solo.
So,
multiples.
I mean, the Wiz has crushed H82 so hard this game. Not often only because of him, but because his teammates have rotated well, and we haven't seen any support from Judy on the Muradin in that bad matchup for Dahaka. They always have this advantage, and he's been able to get double lanes, and uh-oh. This isn't going to go well.
Gondar is gonna go down front, but the Genji has that play. That's the first one. Gonna be a lot more, and Cassia does.
No one's shutting him down. Nobody's stopping Modern Life here. Just flying around with Dragon Blade out.
Does catch
untouched.
Yeah, and Rhaegar and Greymane does clean up the bottom, but that's an okay trade, I would say, for Miracle, but they needed more here.
I don't know if I agree. They could actually die if they lose both these altars. You can't afford to take trades like this. You need to have a clean fight. Just trying to buy time right now is Judy. Wiz is just gonna threaten this. Now it's gonna be 2v2. Yeah.
Can they? I don't think. Yeah, Muradin's just way too sturdy, and they can buy a lot of time. Dahaka will be coming in 5 seconds, so there's no reason to contest. Yes.
They take the smarter move to just push them down to 5 health. One more altar will kill them. As you can see, Miracle's headed towards taking that bell tower to the bottom because they know that one more shot will kill them of any kind. They at least survive the boss. One more health than that. But look at what Sonya's doing. Already pushed the lane towards the top bell tower. Is going to take the camp. That might actually help them take it. So eventually that bottom bell tower will fall, theoretically. Miracle should take that out, but they might just lose this one at the same time. Such a rough situation to be in right now. Here comes the protection squad to stop H82 from retaking this.
Ooh, the Sappers did not actually get the entire bell tower.
Yeah.
So they can actually...
Oh my god, this lives though.
Ooh. One more wave should do it, but for that time being, I think the next one's gonna come up, and Sonya will be pushing top meanwhile.
Yeah, I don't know if this invade is actually worth it.
So they need to go get the kill onto Dudu right now, but the blind is so big. And
Central barely misses. Yep, good go for the throat there to get the kill. Well, is it worth it in the end to get one kill when this bell tower at the top is about to go down? If they get a second one.
Ragged, this is a big turning point, maybe able to come back, but Sonya's still working on that top because they already know if they can still control the rotation, they will still be able to win this game.
Okay, so H82's gonna go try to take that bot bell tower. And actually, okay, just barely with like the last minion's sword swing, gets the top altar. Miracle's trying to get this, but I don't think they should be here. If they lose either altar, they lose the game. 10 seconds till the spawn. They need to run, and I mean run down to those altars. BlossoM's a better position. This was, I think, a rotational mistake.
What?
H82 can't buy time here. Here comes the channel. And look at Wiz. H82 can't even get here. Big mistake by Miracle. Huge mistake. Mistake of the century. There you go. That's going to be a 2-0 lead for BlossoM. That's it. Game over. Huge mistake. Miscalculating the time it would take to rotate from boss and or clear the boss. That was a bad mistake there. That was, I mean,
that we don't even see that in open division.
No, that was a new one, G-Clef, that we just witnessed.
I mean, Miracle, talk about unfortunate, but that shot call was not at the right timing. They should know that they need so much more time to burst down that boss and go all the way to the bottom altar. There was no way, even if Dahaka brush tucked in, he was gonna die.
It was the greediest move we've seen this season. The idea to try to get the camp and then get the boss and then go to get both altars. They had to get both altars because Wiz got that top bell tower. If that didn't happen, this move makes sense because they survive with 1 health off of the first channel. They can win a team fight. Should have abandoned the boss, tried to control both bell towers. Sure, they would have been shooting only 3 shots and would have only gotten 6, still fighting an uphill battle. But maybe they win a team fight if BlossoM gets greedy. They get 20 first, the game could go on. Trying to take the boss after getting the Sapper cap was never, there was never going to be enough time. All BlossoM had to do is exactly what it did. Body block H82 out, and then they can't stop the channel and they win the game. That was a huge oversight. I think perhaps a miscalculation.
The moment they saw the boss taken by Miracle, they were just running to the bottom saying, we won this. There's no way, even if the Haka comes, we can just kill the Haka. At that moment, the game is over also. That was not, I can't call that greedy at all. It's just miscalculated there.
Yeah. I think they thought they could do the greediest play, and they thought they calculated right, but they were wrong in that regard. So BlossoM takes a 2-0 lead in dominant fashion. Perfect game in game number 2, or sorry, game number 1. Game number 2, very, very successful play in terms of macro. When we come back from a very short commercial break, we're going to see if BlossoM can close out our second series of the night. We'll see you then.